Hi there, my name's Bob Gentle and welcome back to Amplify. Now, if you're a regular on this channel, you'll notice things look a little different. I moved house. I'm in a completely new space. And like a lot of people that move house, I've been very distracted. In fact, moving house is ridiculously distracting. It's so distracting. But not only that, when you lose focus, you lose momentum and you lose motivation and you lose energy. And you lose enthusiasm. I have experienced that a little bit recently. But if you're in business, if you lose momentum, if you're not moving forwards, you're moving backwards. And for most people, this is actually quite normal. Whenever we get distracted, whenever there's new things going on, we lose momentum on the things that matter. Now, if you have a regular 9-to-5 job where you're working for somebody else, this can go on for a long time. It doesn't really matter. You just turn up, punch your card, do your job repetitively. Nobody's going to notice that you've kind of lost your mojo. But if you're a business owner, this matters. Living your life on standby mode for a lot of people is fine. It won't really impact what you earn day to day. But if you're a business owner, this can be a real problem. So if you're like me, you can't afford to stay in this state for long. The days, they can turn into weeks, they can turn into months, they can turn into years, and then before you know it, you've lost a lifetime. Time is super precious. So your future calls, and it's time to take charge. I have strategies for this, and I'm going to share them with you. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. So first off, what is overwhelm? Overwhelm really is a loss of perspective. You can no longer see the woods for the trees. You have no motivating big picture left anymore. The small stuff will often jump to the front. The seemingly urgent will take priority over the really important. It can be very, very hard to distinguish what is important, what's unimportant. In fact, nothing seems important and everything does. You start wondering why you're working so hard, and you maybe start questioning your mission and thinking, what's it for? You can lose self-esteem, you can lose confidence. Now, what I'm not talking about here is depression. Depression is a whole different thing. If you think you're struggling with depression, go and see a doctor. I'm really talking about a small period of time when you've been really, really busy doing things that have distracted you and you've taken your eye off the ball. And when you take your eye off the ball, chaos erupts. All the plates fall to the ground and you now have to make all those decisions that you made previously to get them up in the air again. And it's hard work. So how do we get out of this? So how do a lot of people deal with this problem? Because different people deal with it in different ways. And what I find is when people don't have a plan, when they don't understand that this is normal, they'll deal with it instinctively in lots of different ways. For some people, they'll just change the plan of a new plan. They'll make bad decisions for short-term reasons. They will fall into what you would call shiny object syndrome. They'll see something new that looks much more interesting than the thing they've spent the last decade working on. They'll look for quick fixes from gurus. That's always bad news. They'll maybe take courses or programs. My advice is never do this impulsively as a reaction to feeling overwhelmed. Only ever do it strategically as something that you've decided you're going to move forward on. Never as a reaction. A lot of the time, especially when people are new to business, they'll just give up. What you need to understand is this is normal. So getting to grips with this matters. A poor mindset can rob you of your dreams. Your time is very, very short and it's very, very precious. And your future self is depending on you to become the person he or she needs you to be if you're going to walk into this bright, shiny future that you've worked so hard for. So here's how to fix it. Number one is you need to accept that this is normal. This isn't something that's special to you. You've become a little bit overwhelmed. You're feeling you don't know what to do next. This is normal. It's part of growing. And accept it as good, as positive. You recognized it. Next is give the experience some space. Don't feel you need to rush past it. You need to listen to this overwhelm and think, well, what is it trying to tell me? First and foremost, I would say you need to reconnect with your dreams, with your big picture, with your why. Why are you in business? What is it that you've set in the distant future that you're really working towards? So understand What is your big cliched why? And this is your permission to dream. You need to get it out of your head, get it on paper somewhere, get it onto a mind map, get it onto a sheet of paper, anything, it doesn't matter, but it needs to come out of your head and come out in front of you so that you can see it from the outside rather than be overwhelmed by it on the inside. So reintegrating your vision, reacquainting yourself with the big why is the first step to really moving beyond being overwhelmed, because you're going to need to find the motivation to get those plates up spinning in the air again. That's really where you need to begin. So does this vision that you originally had and you've now sort of recommitted to, does it light you up? If it does, brilliant. But if it doesn't, maybe it's no longer the right vision. Maybe it's not right for you. Don't move on if what you're working towards doesn't light you up. Maybe the vision is wrong. Maybe it's not right for you anymore. Maybe it was someone else's vision. Maybe you've grown. That's very, very likely. Maybe you've achieved it. This is something that I found once, that actually I'd worked very, very hard for a long period to achieve a goal, achieved it, and then wondered why I wasn't motivated. I needed a new vision, a new goal, a new future. So you won't be motivated until the vision is right. So spend some time in fantasy land and work out, where do you want to go? Give yourself permission to be ridiculous, to be a little bit crazy, because that's what's going to motivate you. Next is where it gets really practical. You've now got this big grand vision, you're feeling enthusiastic and motivated about it. We now need to look at what needs to happen in order for that to become real. So really at this point we're talking vision. We've got that down. From vision to goals, this needs to go on a piece of paper. Specifically, in concrete terms, what are your goals? And then, what projects need to happen to support those goals? List them. Do you need new sales initiatives? Do you need new products? Do you need to be healthier, fitter? Do you need new connections? These things all go into a list of projects that you can start working on. Make a big list of projects. You might have 30 projects. That's okay. You might have more, you might have less. Depends on what this vision is and how much needs to happen in order for it to become real. If you've got just you on your own working, you're going to have a few projects. If you've got a team, you might have 40 projects, but be ambitious. In each project, tasks. What specific concrete things are you going to need to do day by day to make this happen? Then once you've done that, you have a plan and you can start taking action on it. And what you'll find is that you have your enthusiasm again, you have your energy. So what projects matter? What tasks support each project? Make lists, lots of lists. And if you're like me, once you've done this, you'll be burning to get back to work. Listen to your body and be mindful of how you feel about your work. If you don't feel motivated and enthusiastic about it, you need to go back and look at why you're doing it, what you're actually working towards. Get motivated to do it. Time is precious. If you don't find joy in what you're doing, then hopefully this will help you reconnect with that. So that's really all I've got, is a simple process for moving past overwhelm, not overcoming, moving past overwhelm into a more productive state. So my name's Bob Gentle. I hope you've enjoyed watching that. If you have, go check out some of my other videos and do subscribe to this channel if you're that way inclined, and also hit the bell. That way YouTube will send you notifications every time I post new content, which is normally every Wednesday, and I promise to get back into it now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.